Hello and welcome to our Let's Talk Sport preview of Croatia versus England. And well, it is the first of their two on this international break in the Nations League, playing up against Croatia once more. Or actually, no, for the first time against Croatia. Is it?
First time, yeah.
Yes, it is, because they haven't played them against yet. Well, they have played them quite recently in the World Cup semi-final, of course. Going to extra time in that game, losing though by 2-1 after a Perisic late goal in extra time, sent Croatia to the World Cup final. But then again, they go on and lose against France. And I think in that situation, I think England probably would have lost against France as well. So less. Jamie's saying we would have won, but I think he was more optimistic than quite a lot of us were in that summer. But going back to that game, Joe, in Croatia versus England in the World Cup. A lot of missed opportunities really for England, and so far it's been a bit disappointing for them in the Nations League, losing 2-1 against Spain in their opening game. But Croatia, on the other hand, lost 6-0 to Spain. So is this a to and fro? So potentially maybe England are a better team than what Croatia had to offer in the summer?
You could say that, yeah. I think the problem with England in the summer was the pressure got to them in the semi-final. They got their lead and then they just seemed to lose their heads. They were content on trying to preserve that one goal lead instead of getting more and more goals.
Yeah.
And then obviously they got caught out later on when Croatia grew into the game and the England team tired. I think England, on paper, I think they've got a stronger squad. I know that Croatia got the big stars like Modric, Perisic, Rakitic. I was going to say Dejan Lovren then just for the banter. But,
the best defender in the world apparently.
But yeah,
not too sure you showed that really against City, but
he didn't do
clean
too
sheet.
bad. But
Clean sheet.
But yeah, they got the quality players. Obviously, Croatia have, and that showed on the day. The stars came to the fore, and they got the result and made it to the final. Obviously, they were unlucky in the final.
Yeah.
France outclassed them, and then obviously there was one or two decisions that they were a little bit unsure about. But I think it's going to be a tough game for England. Obviously, away to Croatia is never easy, and they're well organised. Slatko Dalic.
Yeah. Croatian hero now.
If I can get that word out.
Yeah.
Get those names out. He took charge, didn't he, just before the tournament? So
yeah.
It was amazing what he did, and he's developing this Croatian team very well. So it's going to be tough for England, but
yeah. And certainly, you already mentioned some of the key names to them: Modric, Perisic, Rakitic, Kovacic. I think that's how I pronounce his name. The one that's on loan at Chelsea from Real Madrid. He's playing pretty decent at the moment, and of course, your main Croatian lover, Lovren, right there.
lover.
Yeah, his name spells love if you take out a couple of letters. So but. This Croatian team certainly got a lot of strength, whereas England, on the flip side, Dele Alli in this squad, and a lot of youngsters in this team as well, likes of Maddison, Sancho, Mount coming into the team, Barkley back in the team as well, Nathaniel Shallowa in the squad as well, the Watford midfielder. So there's a lot of promise in this team full of youngsters. But do you think the inexperience maybe could play out against Croatia, a team that's just recently gone to the World Cup final?
It's possible, but there's also the flip side of that, where you look at the fact that the youngsters got a point to prove.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be young, they'll be hungry, they're wanting to prove that they can be in the squad for a long time, and the fact that they're unknown quantity to the Croatian players, or potentially an unknown quantity. I know some of them might play with them abroad. Sancho playing at Dortmund, he'll probably play with a couple of the Croatian lads there.
Mm-hmm.
But with Mount and stuff, there won't be that much known about them because they were part of the Chelsea Academy and then they're only online at Derby.
Yep.
There's a big chance that the unknown quantity, Croatia won't know how to deal with them, and it could work. On the flip side, like you said, the lack of experience at international level could cause England trouble. I think it's one of those. It depends on which England team turns up on the day. We saw against Spain, they didn't perform well. They lost. And then against Switzerland in the friendly, they didn't perform well, but they won.
Mm-hmm.
I think it all depends on which England turns up and which Croatia turns up. I think it's a good thing that he's bringing these youngsters in there.
Yeah.
Because it gives them more experience for the next tournaments along the line. I think the earlier you bring them in, the better, personally. Some people might disagree with that, but I think the more game time they have, it's going to help benefit England in the long run. You look at the likes of Sterling, who come in younger, and at Dele Alli, they come in at a young age, and they're regulars. And I don't think that bringing them in at a young age. You look at Spain, in the past they brought in players when they were younger as well. So you look at that, the more experience the better for me.
Yeah, certainly. Which one of those kind of players would you like to see given the opportunity really in this England team? Sancho's having a good time at Dortmund, as you mentioned, highest assist leader in the top 5 European leagues. Maddison's doing well at Leicester City after his transfer during the summer from Norwich, and of course you already mentioned as well Mason Mount on loan at Derby from Chelsea this season, doing well there, impactful in their tie against Manchester United in the League Cup. Which one of those players would you love to see to get the opportunity against Croatia?
Well, there's two I'd like to see get an opportunity during the game. I'm not saying start necessarily, but I think Maddison's been fantastic in the Premier League and been crying out for someone who can be that link between midfield and attack, the number 10 sort of role. I think he'll be brilliant, the way that he can glide past players, his passing ability and his ability to shoot from range as well. That's fantastic. He'll be good. But wide areas, sometimes we lack something wide for me in England. We've had abundance of wingers down the years, and then all of a sudden we've had a little bit of a barren spell. And I think Sancho is going to be interesting to see how he develops in the England team, and the fact that he's playing abroad as well. It's not very often England pick a player that's playing overseas.
Yeah.
So
I think the last one might have been like Owen Hargreaves or something like that when he was at Bayern Munich. I can't remember any others. Maybe Dyer when he was at Lisbon. I don't know if he broke into the squad then, but I can't really think of any others. Beckham maybe at Galaxy. Yeah, that's right, Jamie.
The interesting thing with Sancho, stat-wise, isn't he the first player since '99 or something this century to be called up to the England squad? So that makes us all feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for that, Joe. Speaking of a player that we haven't seen in the England squad for quite some time, Ross Barkley, Chelsea, playing pretty decent at the moment. Does he deserve a start against Croatia, do you think?
I think that's a bit premature, to be honest. Ross Barkley, to put him in the starting 11. I think maybe in one of the 2 games he could start, but Croatia's the first one, so I think that might be a bit too soon. He's played really well for Chelsea, as I mentioned on the show that was on in the week. I think he's done really well. He's like the Ross Barkley of old when he first came on the scene at Everton. He's like a new player. He's reinvigorated, and Sarri's put confidence in him and said, "Look, I know you can do this. I know you're the perfect style of play for this. And you've given him the confidence and told him, I'm going to give you game time." And he's allowed him, and with more game time, the better he's gotten. Mm-hmm. And I think with England, it's going to be interesting because obviously he flopped at the 2014 World Cup, but most of the team did. And I can't remember if he went to the Euros, did he? Euro 2016?
It might have been when he was injured. It might have been when he was injured that time because he's always got that niggling injuries all the time, doesn't he?
I think he's a quality player. He just needs to be given time to gel, and I think in this England team he could be, like Maddison, another link between the midfield and attack, and another sort of player that we've been crying out for. It's like with Jack Wilshere. We've had Jack Wilshere down the years, who's the same sort of player, but he's had his injury problems and England can't rely on him. Mm-hmm. And I think his time, sadly for Jack, is gone. Yeah. So I think Ross Barkley needs to grasp this opportunity and not become another Jack Wilshere, where you play so many games, you can have all this hype, but then never achieve anything in the end. Yep.
So the game itself, Croatia versus England, head to head. Both of them had 3 from 3 results of the last 6. But of course, we already mentioned the most recent result between the two sides was that World Cup semi-final where Croatia managed to win by 2-1 after extra time. And this actually will be Croatia's first home game since that World Cup semi-final. So it's going to be a raucous atmosphere in Croatia for this game, a rematch of the World Cup semi-final. How do you think it's going to fold?
I think it's going to be, like I said, mentioned before, it's going to be a close game, both teams cancelling each other out. Obviously, Croatia lost 6-0 to Spain, and England lost 2-1, and you'd think, if England did better, didn't they? Just slightly better. But at the end of the day, they both lost, they're both hard. Croatia going away is very hard. You saw what they did in the semi-final. So I reckon it'll be both teams cancelling each other out, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, interesting. That should be an interesting game. I'm actually going to go for a little bit something sad here, and I'm actually going to say it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Croatia. Ooh. I just see it going that way. I think the home atmosphere, the crowd's going to be behind them, raring to go for this after a fantastic performance in the World Cup. Going up against the team that they last won against in the World Cup in England, I think they could get the result here. It'll definitely depend on what kind of side Southgate puts out. If he puts out a young side, then I think Croatia could get the game quite easily and control it from the off. But if they put out a more experienced side, more of a side that we saw at the World Cup, then I think maybe it'll be more of an even contest, and it might just be 1 or 2 moments in the game that really stand out and to really separate these two sides and see which way it swings. But for me, I think it could swing in the way of the home side in Croatia. So what are your own predictions for a game itself? Let us know in the comment section below this video. Don't forget to like it, subscribe for more Let's Talk Sport content, and we shall see you all very soon.